everybody for tuning in. We will be getting started shortly. We are playing an artist out here from Charlotte, North Carolina by the name of Socialize, and also featuring Teddy Doja. Shout out to Slim Hood, that is the producer. Shout out to Platinum Plus, and also, of course, Unfair Apparel right now. Make sure that you guys support that movement. And after this song, we will be getting started with the show. We just want to know when people tune in. We are live on the air, and we are also live, of course, on Facebook and on Instagram.
Because if you do, then I'm right behind you. And no, baby, I know you don't mind that. I know you like all that. I asked who please, and she said it's ours. If you do what you want, do you do what you want, do you ain't gotta ask nobody. You move when you want to. You do what you want, do you do what you want, do you ain't gotta ask nobody. You move when you want to. Yeah, my baby ain't gotta beg. My baby girl do whatever she want to. My shawty ain't gotta ask. My baby girl do whatever she want to. My shawty don't look at text. My baby girl do whatever she want. Yeah, my baby all out of bag. My baby girl do whatever she want. I got that jacket. I just lit a band inside your purse while you was resting. My lady ain't got a brag. She pop a tag and do what she want to. Get niggas don't know the half and got enough money to even approach
Once
you.
again, guys, we are live on TrueDreamsRadio.com. Make sure y'all definitely support 24/7 independent artist music, old school, new school art.
It's been an hour since I eat. I'm trying to break that up. She point at everything she see, oh yeah. Cause she wanna dress like me, oh yeah. Take a good with 16, oh yeah. Cause she wanna see big green, oh yeah, oh yeah. Says she want good work, says she want good work. Take it to the hood first, yeah. Says she want good work, every go. But I gotta make it just right, yeah. You do what you want, do. You ain't gotta ask nobody. You move when you want to. You do what you want, do. You do what you want, do. You ain't gotta ask nobody. You move when you want to. Yeah, yeah. My baby ain't gotta beg. My baby girl do whatever she want to. My shawty ain't gotta ask. My baby girl do whatever she want to. My shawty don't look at text. My baby girl do whatever she want. Yeah, my baby all out of bag. My baby girl do whatever she want to. Yeah.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into Self Love Sunday. Today we're going to be talking about 7 ways to make better decisions, because better decision making on a daily basis results in a better life overall. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, and we do gotta introduce ourselves. I am Kitty Mo. I am the owner and radio personality for award-winning for best radio station, True Dreams Radio. 24/7, we play all genres of independent artist music, as well as old school and new school R&B. And you already know this is, of course, a dope show by the name of You Are Enough, period. She don't give herself enough credit for being a queen, so go ahead and let everybody know where they can follow your movement and support your book.
You can follow me at Style By Sheena and visit SheenaAaron.com to follow the various things I do. YouAreEnough.com is where you'll find the book. It's a book of quotes where you can flip through and actually find something to inspire you on a daily basis.
Yeah, so definitely make sure that you guys support her movement. She is a dope queen. She is an author. Also, you guys already see the Rapunzel's going on. So if you guys need your hair braided, ladies and fellas, if you need to get your sister right, your girlfriend right, your mama right, make sure that y'all definitely book her for your next hairstylist appointment. And of course, she is a model too, so anybody that got their own clothing line, y'all need to make sure that y'all hit up Styles by Sheena. Make sure you follow her movement. That is on Facebook and of course on Instagram too as well. So we gotta go ahead and get into this topic. We need some self-love Sundays going on, so she about to talk to us about it and get us started, right? So let's get it. And once again, we are live on Instagram and Facebook. So if y'all see us looking, that's the reason why.
Yeah, we're looking both ways right now. But today we're talking about 7 ways to make better decisions. And the first thing we're going to talk about, in order for you to make better decisions, you need to balance the heart versus the head. Okay. So if we make decisions based on what our heart feels, we're usually blind to what the result could be. Mm-hmm. So if you act impulsively and you just do things based immediately on how your heart feels, you're not making the best decision. So it's important to balance what your heart feels and what your head feels when making decisions. Do you think that's true?
Okay. I think I probably have a problem at times. I think I choose sometimes my heart over my head. I guess it depends on the situation, though. If anything,
It's important to balance.
yeah, I think you have to definitely balance it. I think with the head, I think it's more so. I think I use that more when it comes down to financial type of things, situations like how can we actually execute. I think when it comes down to friendships, even down to work relationships, you know, in general, even though of course you have to use your heart, you know, typically you still have to use common sense, which is your mind. So I do agree on that. I think you have to definitely have a perfect balance with controlling that. So okay.
So we kind of have to just lean towards the middle when it comes to thinking with our heart and thinking with our head. Okay, the second way to make better decisions is to write plans down and organize them. A lot of times we jump into things without thinking about it, whether it be a car purchase, whether you're getting an apartment, whether you're choosing a new mate. You have to write things down and organize. Like what you want in a person, you need to write it down and figure out how you're going to get that. If you want a specific car, think about how much the payment's going to be, whether you should buy cash. It's just important to plan versus making decisions just impulsively, because that's the way you end up with a payment that's too high.
No, I definitely agree. And it's funny, my mother and I was actually having a conversation this morning just in reference to business and being able to understand that you actually have to physically see the goals that you want to make. At the end of the day, you can say that you can remember the bills that you got to pay for. You can say at the end of the day the things that you got to take care of in your business life, even in your personal life. But it's still good to be able to actually write it down, because you actually need that visual. And when you see that visual, it helps you remember more, because every day you're getting new stuff planning into your head. Every day you're having new conversations with people. So you can easily forget things that even that may seem very important. And what I always recommend, I just got through actually telling some college students at Winston, shout out to my HBCU, it was homecoming this week, but I just got through telling them random things that I like to do. Sometimes when I know that it's a good thought in my head, I know that we have the power, guys, of now using technology, using your phone. Let me go to my notes. I really feel like writing it down just makes a big difference. And what I like to do is if I find a random sheet of paper, I can write it down and then I'll put it in my wallet, because that's what you use the most, money, right? So every time when I'm seeing it, I see that note in my wallet to where I'm like, oh, okay, this is the list of things that I need to do or knock out the way, because it's there, it's in front of me. And a lot of times you can't forget important stuff, really, because life happens and it's okay, and it's not to beat yourself up about it when you do forget important things, but it's good to at least try writing it down as notes, because you can actually just like really think about what you're doing rather than just a quick. Everybody now can do quick texting, quick status, quick tweets, all that. But writing things down is just not as original no more when you think about it.
Nobody's writing it down.
Yeah.
That's really a good point. So hopefully everybody will take that in and write things down. Okay, the third thing that you can use to make better decisions is learn from the past. So the way I like to think of it is a mistake repeated more than once is a decision. So realize how you're making decisions, and when you make a mistake, you need to learn from it.
Okay, I definitely do agree on that. Definitely agree on that.
Okay. Number 4 is prepare to be wrong. Sometimes we can either act impulsively, as we referred to in number 1, or we can do things, and we need to understand that it's okay to be wrong and to prepare for it. So if we pick scenario 1 and it doesn't work out, we need to know what we need to do.
Yeah, and I do agree. I think that preparing to be wrong is great. I actually was saying that earlier today, like preparing for it, even in the line of business. I like wrong rather than failure. I had said failure earlier today, but that's very true. Like, and when you conduct business, even when you have things going on in your personal life, friendships, work, like I said again with business, so work relationships or owning your own business, you have to accept the bad. And it's okay. It's not to be negative. It's not to make the assumption on, oh, you're not thinking positive or you're not dreaming big. It's just to be able to go, okay, if 1 + 1 really end up being 3, when I knew for a fact it was 2, how can I make this end up still being 2? Or how can I accommodate now that it is 3? And that's just bringing that up on just even a positive end, that sometimes it can be an abundance of blessings that can happen so fast, where you gotta know how to really be able to control it, but you gotta be able to prepare that you may not make everybody happy. You know, you may not can say yes to everybody. You know, you may have to say no, and that's a wrong that people may make you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so prepare for that. Prepare to feel wrong too, even when you're right.
He says, it's a sign of maturity when you can accept your mistake. Exactly, that's true.
That's definitely true. Who was that?
That's Woo right there, Culture Boy. Yeah,
Culture Boy. Again, we are on Instagram. We gotta shout you out. So I definitely do agree that is a sign of maturity.
Okay, and number 5 is one that ties in with the balance. So number 1 is the most important one, which is balancing your heart and your head. And number 5 is quiet emotional impulses. A lot of times we want to act, we want to do right now, especially when we're all a part of the microwave generation, where it's like we want it now, we want things to happen now, but we need to quiet the impulses, the emotional impulses in us that make us just act versus thinking. So it's important to think. Tone down. When you have emotional impulses, things happen where you might say something on Facebook, you might say something on Twitter that would offend somebody. A lot of people have lost their job behind emotional impulses. So it's just important to make better decisions when posting your feelings.
What advice would you give for that?
I would say before you post anything that
not even post.
Oh, okay, just in general.
Just, acting out.
I would say pacing is important. So if I feel like doing something now, whether I go into a store and I see something that's a little bit too expensive for me or I can't really afford it, I'll wait. 24 hours. If I still want it tomorrow, then I'll purchase it then. So just having a waiting time, a pace. If you like posting, as we're referring to, if you post something or you're thinking about posting something, take a little time, 5 to 10 minutes before you post it if you're emotionally, or even text something to somebody that you're upset with. Just like calming those emotional impulses.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking along like the personal lines and things. Like, how do you control those emotions?
Because a lot of times we get riled up and it's like, we wish we wouldn't have said certain things, but if we had to calm the emotional impulses that tell us to tell them immediately how we're feeling, which we may not feel later, we could eliminate a lot of problems.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
No, I mean, no, usually I don't regret what I say.
Well, yeah.
No, okay, but I regret.
You're just an example. But like me,
no. But no, I regret how I will say I regret how it comes out.
Okay, that's good.
Sometimes I regret how it can. Sometimes I can regret how it can like come out. The delivery, excuse me. So sometimes I do feel like my delivery towards emotional impulse, like I could maybe take it easy a little bit. You know, I'm not one of those type that I'm about to start naming stuff I always hated about you, like because that to me is weird.
Mixing the two together is good. Yeah, like having a little bit of impulsivity is good, but being like
just dramatic with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like, and I never liked your cooking. Like, something like that to be like, wow, why did you eat it every Sunday? Like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, yo, let's go to Applebee's. Yeah. Or let's go to Chili's. Let's go somewhere instead of your cooking, whatever. All right, cool. Right. We ain't feeling it, so, but you got to be able to control still, because I have moments. I could be honest. I have moments, guys. So, no, I definitely do understand.
It's all about the balance, and that's what we're working towards. Like, we all have little voids we need to fill. So,
and if anything, with like quiet emotions, impulses, if anybody is watching, I do see Country Boy. He did say something too. If anybody,
it's easier said than done.
It's definitely easier said than done. If anybody that wants to take the time to maybe give us your opinion on any of the actual points that we have made, feel free. We will allow for far as one person to be able to go on a live, and that's either live on our actually two technically, so it'll be live on a Facebook and live also with our Instagram. We do want to let you guys know we are engaged with you. However, we are live, so we're kind of far away from reading your comments. So we would love to be able to have you guys, share. I guess you can connect, and we're able to connect lives together and be able to discuss any ideas that you guys are helping us elaborate. Maybe you guys can give us more insight on what we can pinpoint or bring up about the different points. So definitely let us know. Just request it on Instagram. Not 100% sure with Facebook, but definitely. Sada. Okay. All right. So my mom said Sada. All right. So this next one.
Number 6 is trust yourself, and only you know who you are and what you need and what type of decisions you need to make. So always trust yourself when making decisions. Do you think that's
I
super
definitely
important?
think that's true. If you don't trust yourself, you're never going to trust anybody. And that's what we always talk about, and that's the essence of the show, which is self-love Sundays. If you don't love yourself, no one's ever going to love you. So, you know, I definitely do feel like you have to trust yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. You know, you can't expect for people to believe in you. If you don't, I mean, that's just being real. You cannot expect to sell other people to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. And believing in yourself is literally trusting who you are, accepting who you are, and like she even bring up learning from your past. So knowing that I had this phase, but you're understanding that it's a phase.
And it's building you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're understanding that it's a chapter. You're understanding that it's a scene from a movie. However you want to look at your life, you know that it's different steps. But if you're stagnant, you ain't learning. If you're still on the same level that you've been on, you're not learning nothing. And that's growth on any type of level, from your friendships, your job opportunities, positions, you know, from your faith. From, you know, so you have to trust yourself. What country boy say? What you say, country boy? Always be confident and never doubt yourself. Yeah, exactly. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to. And I think, you know, trusting yourself, once you trust yourself, you know how to control yourself. You know how to
start creating that balance that you need in order to accomplish everything that you have set forward and live day to day.
Yes,
That's
no,
important.
definitely. And so let's see. Couldn't miss this. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay, and number 7 is, once you make a decision, don't look back. Make it work. And that's the most important one that we have. Is like daily we're making decisions, we're making movements, and it's important to live life without regrets. So once you make a decision and you use number 6, you trust yourself. You use number 5, you've quieted your emotional impulses. You've done everything that you needed to do in order to make the best decision for you. Don't look back.
And I do agree on that. It's hard to sometimes, you know, especially, and I only say that, you know, because sometimes you can make decisions that don't work out, and then you look back wondering what you could have done if it did work out.
Right.
But you have to just understand when it don't work out, like you said, just make it work.
Make it work.
And
Whatever
just,
it is.
Just, hey, it didn't work out, but it's what we got. You know, and
As long as it's not life or death, we can make it work. Just think of it that way.
No, literally, no, I definitely do say that. So, no, I definitely do agree. Like, have you had a situation where you just, like, wanted to look back, but just couldn't look back and had to make it work?
I can relate that to a million different things, whether it be relationships or even vehicle purchases. I've jumped into something and the interest rate was way too high and had to stick it through to the end, but I had to figure out a way to manage that issue and just like build on it.
No, I definitely do agree on that, and typically with my situation is the same thing. Like being full time with True Dreams Radio, it's a lot of challenges, and a lot of times I may create ideas, and I may have a lot of if the idea didn't go as planned, I may, you know, have a lot of like, oh, if I would have did this or I would have did that, instead of just making it work. And it's not to be acting like water boy with my mama said, but you know, prime example, you know, I had a situation that took place on Friday. You know, I like I said, I mentioned my HBCU, so shout out to Winston-Salem State University. We just had our homecoming, and I wanted to go out there, be able to network, wanted to have a vendor, the whole 9, things like that. I did want to do a type of pop-up show, and what I did notice is that I should have, in a sense, how I kept trying to look back, I'm like, oh, I should have planned, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have grabbed this, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I called my mom, like, oh my God, Mom, like, what I wanted, it didn't work out, but it's working out, but it's not. And she just was like, you know what, at the end of the day, do what you do best. Network, talk to people. This is what you do at the end of the day. And she pointed out, you know, even though you didn't meet that goal, make it work.
Make it work.
You there now. You know what I'm saying? She like, you there now. You got the flyers. You got the marketing material. So what you gonna do? You know, this didn't work out. So I think that that's very important to.
That's a great example.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, that's definitely important to, you know, once you make that decision, you look at it, you realize it, you analyze it. And if it doesn't work, still just try to figure out a way to benefit it for still your life, because it wasn't a bad idea or a bad decision. It just may not have been that right time. Right. And now what you can do is, like mentioning from point 3, you learn from that. You learn from your past. So I learned from that. So now I know, okay, next year, let me make sure, or if anything started now since homecoming is over, let me make sure to take the initiative to ask about how to get a vending spot on the breeze, but you know, like just something where I just didn't have that knowledge of, but I had to gain it from, in a sense, also being like point number 4, preparing to be wrong, being wrong about the idea that I had, you know, and being able to understand like, okay, like, you know, it wasn't necessarily a foul, it was just wrong time, bad timing, you know,
but you were there, you were present,
exactly,
and you did have. You were there for people to see you and experience what you had
exactly
to offer,
so like so exactly so I think that, you know, you do just have to make things work in life. I think a lot of times, especially when you have a positive movement going, you always want the best outcome necessary. When it doesn't happen, it hurts. You know, that's being real, because it's genuine. So when you're doing something genuine and it fails, it makes you sometimes it can make you depressed. Yeah, it can make you sad. It can make you put you in a corner like, oh my God, like I wanted to do the right thing. But you have to take into consideration that decision that you made, just like you said, make it better the next time around. It wasn't bad. It wasn't wrong, especially like I said, if you're doing the right thing now. You're doing the right thing. It wasn't bad, it wasn't wrong. Just learn how to probably maybe have better time and learning the mistake from it before and being okay with it too, and saying, hey, like, you know, I could have just advertised that event on Friday was just phenomenal. It was still great with networking wise, but it wasn't what I expected for it to be. But you have to also be comfortable, which is also, for one, trusting yourself. I'm trusting y'all to tell y'all, I ain't need none of that. To be honest,
but it's reality.
But it's real, because I trust myself enough to trust others to let y'all know about who I am, business, personal, whatever, because I'm confident in myself to know that what I speak about is going to be true. True dreams 24/7 now, but definitely, I just better be petty, y'all. But definitely, I do love this. I do love this show. You gotta let them know again how they can support you and be a part of your movement. Anybody again that wants to be on live and maybe give your input and, you know, want to express some things, definitely let us know. Shout out to Country Boy 1. He gave us his input. We want everybody. Sonic Growth, yes, definitely Sonic Growth, yes. And he also said very knowledgeable, yes. And we also see, okay, cool. Amen. All right, cool.
So you can follow me at Style by Sheena if you're on Facebook. Follow me at Style by Sheena, and you can visit SheenaAaron.com. And you can purchase the book at youareenoughperiod.com. And the book is once again called You Are Enough Period.
Yes, definitely make sure that you guys support. Also, again, 24/7 independent artist music, old school, new school R&B. Tell a friend, tell another friend to support TrueDreamsRadio.com. Make sure y'all are voting for us, okay? Vote for us. That is QueenCityAwards.com. November the 7th is the last day. I need for y'all to also vote for the best podcast. That is Stay Ready Podcast. It's so many other people. I don't want to be biased, y'all. I love everybody, but listen, I gotta stick with just these two, because it's literally like 40 categories, okay? So I can name everybody and their mama, but then I'm gonna have somebody feel this type of way. So I just need for y'all to focus on Stay Ready Podcast for best podcast, and also best radio station, True Dreams Radio, 24/7 independent artist music. Again, we support all independent artists as well as entrepreneurs. Make sure that y'all definitely follow us. That is True Dreams Radio 704 on Instagram. That is also True Dreams Radio on Instagram. You got me again, KiddyMo_radio, KIDEMO_radio on Instagram. We got Styles by Sheena, baby, on Instagram and on Facebook. Make sure y'all also support the movement, which is that Black Music Bingo, okay? If you don't know about it, go to the page, find out, get some details. But make sure y'all definitely follow that too. Black Music Bingo on Instagram and on Facebook. But we do appreciate you each and every that's probably what's going to eventually be, so excuse me. First and third. It's going to be each and every Sundays eventually. But however, you guys, again, first and third Sundays, make sure you tune in. Self-Love Sundays, that is on Instagram, that is on Facebook. But however, if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. TrueDreamsRadio.com, y'all. This is our award, Best Radio Station for the first annual Charlotte's People Choice. We need a second one. We need your support. So make sure y'all definitely support our movement. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in, so let's get it.
Thank you.